Employees of an apathetic company journey through abandoned stations, brought to life through the creatures lurking in the darkness.
Yeah, are you still alive? Oh.
While players are only looking to collect a paycheck, much like the planets themselves, there's more to see under the surface of Lethal Company. Seekers is the sole developer of Lethal Company, which was released only to Steam on October 23rd. Despite being created by one person, the game has great foundations which will only be built on as the game's in early access. According to a Zeekers update on Steam, the full game will be released by April. However, the release date may change if they are unsatisfied with the final product. Lobbies can consist of up to 4 players with a group fund for purchasing equipment and decorations. These funds can also send players to new locations where players can find more resources, albeit with more dangerous creatures lurking around the corners.
It's me. Spider! Ah! Oh yeah! We didn't walk through the door!
If players die along the way, the equipment remains with the body after their death. The remaining players have to decide whether they want to recollect the equipment or go on ahead without it. Inventory space is also restricted, as players are only able to hold up to 4 items at one time. In most cases, this can result in players bringing limited equipment and having to make multiple trips into the facility. This differs from other survival horror games, such as Amnesia: The Bunker, which also came out this year, where players had an open inventory that could be increased over time. This limited inventory space encourages teamwork amongst players. The monsters in Lethal Company range from bugs trying to steal your items to indestructible biological weapons of war known as coilheads.
Never mind.
Okay, we're killing it. We're killing it.
These are one of the more interesting monsters in the game, with mysteries surrounding the creature's habit of replacing their victims' heads with a coil, along with their invincible nature, building towards the theory of them being weapons. Each of the monsters has a unique gimmick, causing a terrifying first encounter. Players can scan enemies to receive a bestiary, which gives hints as to what players can expect from these monsters. These bestiaries add another layer to risk versus reward gameplay. Players will need to get in close to the monsters in order to find the best way to work around them on subsequent missions. Through these bestiaries, players can uncover one of the many hints at the lore behind the game.
Guys, why isn't the coilhead dying?
While workers will assume that the company wrote these to warn their employees, this discovery adds another unnerving layer to the game. That bond with players is persistent throughout the whole game, with communication being a key role in traversing the area. Lethal Company utilizes proximity chat to limit player interaction. The proximity chat is at a higher quality in comparison to other recent high-budget games.
Jumper tall.
For instance, Red Barrel's The Outlast Trials has their own proximity chat, but once players are out of range, the microphone automatically changes to a walkie-talkie. With auditory and visual cues informing players of what's happening around the map, players don't have to fear what's going on in other parts of the maps, as the game's always letting them know. Lethal Company utilizes proximity chat to create confusion for players. Silence is an alarming sign, as death can come at any moment, either from the monsters or the environment.
Hi guys.
Ignoring advice from other teammates can be lethal, costing players their lives, but more importantly, their equipment.
This way? Oh, this way? Not that way. Okay, that was to my right, so. Oh, I think.
Stupid bitch.
If players are unable to collect valuable materials to meet quota by the end of the 3-day period, players are fired and have to restart the game from the beginning. This system is somewhat similar to roguelike games where players lose all belongings upon death. While players keep bestiaries, all the equipment and money gained throughout the playthrough is lost. As the quota gets increasingly high with each mission, players are tasked with one-upping themselves until there's no possible way to complete the task. Though the lack of an ending is underwhelming, especially considering the mysteries built up throughout the game, especially behind the company wall building.
Oh my god.
Asking for a complete narrative would go against the intentions of the creator and may be unreasonable at this stage in the game's life cycle. The game could benefit with a definitive ending later in the game's life cycle to satisfy longtime players. Lethal Company is a major achievement for Zeekers and the indie community as a whole. Though unpolished in places, the passion from the creator shines through, resulting in one of the best horror comedies in recent memory. I highly recommend this game.
We got it!